Mission complete.
Assalamualaikum everyone, and my name is Siti Nur Salihah binti Muda. So today I'll be walking you to the first phase of our SIEM monitoring dashboard. Looking at our top center panel, our data collection ingested a total count of records of 5,480 events over our designated time frame. This metric serves as our baseline volume, giving us a clear scope of the overall network traffic and system log activity we are analyzing today. Next, we engineered this geographic map visualization, which by mapping the source country log, we can immediately spot where our inbound traffic is originated. The color-coded gradient highlights high-intensity region in red and orange, which help us quickly spot anomalies from unusual geographic zone, which is critical for identifying potential state-sponsored actor or offshore brute force network. Moving over to the left side, we have our destination IP address panel, which act as a tag cloud where the largest tags highlight our most heavily targeted internal assets. In the IP address of 62.204.41.170, it stands out the most. These immediate visual cues tell us exactly which server or endpoint is bearing the brunt of the traffic, making it our primary starting point for any deeper operational investigation. Finally, in the top targeted protocols pie chart on the left, we see a relatively even distribution, with HTTPS leading at 18.54%, closely followed by DNS and HTTP. However, when we look at the top 5 value of destination protocol pie chart, we see that FTP surging to the top at 18.61%, alongside with POP3 and DNS. The high presence of the plain text protocol like FTP and HTTP in this chart represent a significant attack surface for data sniffing. Now, I will hand it over to Johan to further explain the dashboard.
Let's start by looking at these two graphs, which give us a high-level view of our event distribution and when this occurrence took place. On the left side, we have a bar chart displaying the top 5 values of event severity. As you can see, the majority of the events are classified as low severity, driven heavily by green blocks indicating DDoS traffic, followed by a substantial amount of normal activity. High and medium severity are fewer but critical, containing instances of SQL injections, malware, ransomware that requires immediate attention. On the right side, the timeline chart for timestamp per month indicate a massive spike concentrated around January 2024, when the count of unique IP source address surged past 5,000, predominantly consisting of DDoS events alongside phishing and ransomware indicators. This table is a summary that groups network traffic by its top protocol behaviors and the primary IP addresses responsible for them. It lists the most active communication methods, the main culprit devices, and the network channel used. Then let's look at the visual word cloud, which showcases the unique count of event types. The prominent size of the word other indicates a large variety of unclassified or miscellaneous baseline alerts. However, among the classified threat types, brute force, phishing, DDoS, and malware stands out as our primary threat classification. And now this table provides a granular row-by-row log of specific security events linked to external IP addresses. It tracks the attacker or user origin, the protocol they used, how dangerous the system thinks the traffic is, the event severity, the geographic location, and the system they targeted. Look closely at the rows where the same IP address maps to multiple countries. This indicates IP spoofing because a single IP cannot physically exist in multiple countries simultaneously.
Okay, so next we move to the monitoring phase. So the first thing I want to talk about is the repeated fail login from a single IP. So first let's look at the indicator pointing toward the repeated unauthorized login attempt. So if we examine our data table over here, we can notice highly automated repetitive traffic patterns that are getting the port 443 here and using the fundamental communication protocol like DNS and FTP. And the specific source IP is targeted like 5.91.235.161 and also 6.185.192.44. So the next thing I want to talk about is the sudden spike in the system activity. So we can analyze the system activity by using our hourly timestamp bar chart, and we can see a distinct spike in activity during the middle of the day on the December 13 over here, followed by a sustained high volume surge in the event leading into the early morning hours of December 14. So this dramatically increased the in-data volume, confirmed that a sudden high intensity incident was actively taking place. So the next thing I want to talk about is the accessed from the unusual geographic region. So we can evaluate geographic anomalies by looking at our map, record attack vector concentrated across part of the Africa and Southern and Western Asia. And our detailed event log explicitly flag inbound Malaysia's traffic from an unusual widespread with geographic region. And we can see the incoming attack originating from country code like AE. So and if we take this filter, it can count the record of the attack that happened and also the destination IP address that has been attacked in the United Arab Emirates. So the last one I want to talk about is the threat and attack classification. So we can see our top targeted protocol here. We can show that they are heavily targeting the standard business protocol like HTTPS. After that, followed by DNS, and closely to that is the FTP. And alongside notable percentage for FTP, HTTP, and also the POP3. And that's all for me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Nur Putri Ataha and now I will continue with the investigation part. So this is the Elastic Security Dashboard. Here we monitor network attacks. Right now there are over 5,000 logs and we can also see the top destination IP and the most targeted protocol. Next, I will open the menu and go to the Discover tab. This page shows the raw log data. Here we can view the timestamp, severity, protocol and destination IP to monitor network activity in real time. And now I will go back to the dashboard and filter the data. I select medium severity and ransomware from the event type chart. And then first I check IP 183, 136, 235, 32. Various data shows that many security vendors mark this IP as malicious. Since both Elastic Security and Virus Total detect it as a threat, this is a true positive. Next, I check IP 104, 244, 42, 129. Virus Total shows this is IP clean. Since Elastic Security marked it as a threat, but Virus Total say it is safe, it is a false positive. And finally, I check IP 30, 139, 198, 127 also shows this IP is clean and Elastic Security does not detect it as a threat. So this is a true negative. That's all from Group 4 Fingers and thank you.
Dia cara apa je? Cucut.